Speak about the practical aspects of the Buddha's teachings, which we should be applying in our day to day life, in our modern life. It is as significant today as it was 25 centuries back. The Buddha was the greatest philosopher, greatest psychologist, greatest scientist. He understood the human mind and he used to dissect it into different pieces. So, when we look at his teachings, you come to know so many things. The first aspect that today I would want to discuss with you is the dangers that we should be avoiding in our day to day life. The first danger, as per the Buddha's teachings, is that we should be looking out for the different events in our life, which is the cause of suffering. So, according to the first noble truth, the everything has there is dukkha. Now, dukkha is because of what? It's because of birth, it is because of suffering, it is because of old age, and it is because of death. Now, the first suffering we have already encountered. That is, we are born. So that encounter is not there. But the rest of the suffering, like for instance, whatever diseases that we get, or the old age. Now, old age comes with its own set of sufferings, like ailments, lots of aches in the body. Some people could have pain. So, it is a lot of things which are associated. So, these are the dangers. Some people could have dangerous diseases like cancer or heart problems or blood pressure problems. So, these are the dangers which the Buddha has advised us. And the last is death. So, how are we going to use Buddha's knowledge for overcoming these dangers? Is what he has explained to us in various Pali Suttas. He says that one has to recognize that there is pain. One has to understand that there is pain, there is suffering, and there is impermanence. It will go off. So, when we are meditating, we understand that there is pain and it is impermanent, anicca, and there is no self associated with it. So, one has to have this at the back of one's mind when we are going through. Instead of thinking that I have cancer or I have this, one realizes that I have pain or I have suffering. So once that is seen, then it is very easier for us to get away from all these dangers associated with life. The next danger that we encounter in our day-to-day life, which we can actually break with the meditation pattern, is the second set of dangers is for the people who do evil deeds. Like for instance, when we perform unwholesome deeds, like maybe we are having ill will towards somebody or we actually do some bad deed, then there are three sets of things which could happen. The first is we would have the danger of self-blame. We would blame ourselves. That is known as attanubhaya. There is an inner conscience which keeps on nagging us. The second is parasabhaya. That is other people blaming us. Other people would, like it could be our relatives, it could be our friends, it could be other people, third parties. The next is dandabhaya. Dandabhaya is punishment, fear of punishment. And the fourth is duggati bhaya, that is being reborn in a very bad state in some other world which is below us, wherein we would have to face a lot of hardships. Now these are the dangers which the Buddha has advised us and have to get out of it with meditation, is what when we blame ourselves, whenever we perform bad deeds, there's always guilt. And this, a clean person who, we should feel whenever we are doing some bad deeds, instead of feeling guilty, we should not perform those bad deeds, and everything starts on the mind. So, attano nato. So everybody is the master for oneself. So instead of doing a bad deed, one should be always conscious of whatever is going on in the mind and then only perform the deeds. Based on wrong views, ordinary people also feel guilty for that have no unwholesome quality, like stepping on an insect without realizing it. During the Buddha's times, there was a person who sat on a blanket on which a child was sleeping. Now he did that without knowing that there was a child, and the child was crushed. So Buddha did not hold him negligent at all, because he was doing an ordinary deed of sitting for meditation. So there is a difference between voluntarily doing something wrong and doing the right thing. And the danger of receiving blame from others is frightening as we cling to the idea of self. So again, when there is no self, then there is no, it's easier to blame others for their bad deeds. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha reminds that Sudassam Vajjamanesam Attano Pana Duddhasam Paresam Hi So Vajjani Opunati Yata Bhusam Attano Pana Chadeti Kalimva Kittao Sato. Easily seen are the flaws of others. One's own faults are very hard to see. For others who winnows their own faults like chaff, one's own one hides as a deceitful cheat hides unlikely dice. Now, through the practice of meditation, one will cease to perform any such evil deeds. No reason to fear for what others will say or what oneself will say. And the next danger is the legal punishment from the enemies or evil friends. And so if this is a real, because of our unwholesome thoughts, we will say something, so that again through meditation we can avoid doing all these evil deeds which will not give us any punishment. The fourth danger is punishment in future life. So one has to be very careful of what one does deeds, because everything starts from the mind. So it is always good to do a meritorious deed rather than doing a repulsive action, bringing some wrongful thoughts. And the Buddha has already given us 31 planes of existence, where there are certain planes which are horrible for us to be in. So one has to be mindful not only of the present but also of the future births. Now the next dangers which the Buddha has pointed out are very important for a meditator, because this is for wishing to escape from samsara, those who really want to work, strive. And these are danger of waves, crocodiles, whirlpools and sharks. Now these are all metaphors which are used by the Buddha to explain the dangers. Now what are waves? Waves are, Buddha calls, the 8 worldly dhammas. What are these? These are 8 vicissitudes of life. They are fame and obscurity. Everybody loves fame. Who doesn't like it? Praise and blame. So these are opposites. So everybody likes to be praised, and also nobody likes to be blamed. Gain and loss. Everybody wants to gain, but nobody wants a loss. And happiness and suffering. These are again opposites. So these are the worldly dhammas. One has to be very careful of these waves to get escape from this. And these are all hindrances for the path of meditator. Now what is crocodiles? The danger of crocodiles refers to laziness and indolence. A crocodile just eats food and just is sleeping. A human being loves to do it. A normal human being loves to just laze around, eat food and do nothing. Whereas it is difficult to get up, be alert, be mindful and meditate. Because for a meditator, one has to leave all the pleasures of life, stay awake only 3-4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, and dwelling with food maybe once in a time. So it is easy to be like a crocodile, because they are fit to do nothing. If we want to be free from suffering, we have to let go of all these attachments for comfort, luxury, pleasure. And what is the danger of whirlpools? It refers to the object of sensual desire, which drag us down. Whirlpool always drags it down. Similarly, uh, all these worldly pleasures, whatever is good for the eyes, ears, nose, so everything we are confronted and we get swallowed into it. So that is the danger of a whirlpool. And danger of sharks is refers to the sexual desire, which is the most addictive form of sensuality, and one has to be away from all that. These four are the dangers. And Buddha talks to us about the word bhikkhu in Pali. In Buddhism, there are two kinds of bhikkhus. One is a monk who goes for alms, like bhikkha, and the other one who sees the ikka, that is a danger, that is bhaya in samsara. The former is okay, but the second one is a true monk as per the Buddha. So when we look at all these teachings, different dangers that we see, it is so relevant in modern times. And if one wants to truly go on the path of Dhamma, one has to understand all this and avoid the dangers and look at the merits. May all beings be happy.